Hi, Taurus. Welcome to your reading. I'm filming this in November, but these are timeless messages. So if the title caught your eye, then there should be a message in here for you. So let's get started. I'll clear the energy. Angels, ancestors, spirit guides, please be here now to give divine messages to Taurus for their highest good. And please keep this place clear of any negative energies and safe and protected. Thank you so much for being here. And let's get started. I want to start by using a couple of these oracle cards, and we'll get the theme of your month. Or oh, that's a lot. Um, the vow. Ooh, that's what this one is. The river. And the comic. All right, here, let me put these aside. So the vow says, like, you're making a commitment, you know, to yourself. You're making a commitment to something in your life. Uh, you could be also making a commitment to somebody else or to helping somebody else, but I feel like this is just like a commitment. Like it takes a lot of hands, helping hands to get this job done, and that's why it looks like that. You've got here. There's like a hawk. And also, it looks like the sun, but it also looks like the moon phases. So it's a bit of like, this is sort of a vow to yourself of embracing both your dark and your light sides, um, to committing to freeing yourself from, negative self talk and things like that, being hard on yourself, the constant mind chatter. And then with the river, it's saying that, like, once you make this commitment, this vow, um, good things are going to start flowing in your life, like the river. And, like, this is going to be an inspiration for creativity. And it's also, you're going to have a lot more different energies flowing into your life. Good things are going to start happening. You're going to start to notice things. Um, and And there's a lot of like abundance in the river too, because that's like the river is life, it's sustenance, Uh, towns, villages were always built on the edge of the river because you can get water there and you can eat, you get fish there. Other animals also come to the river to sustain life. And so it's just like a great area of abundant opportunities. And then you have the comic, and this is a funny little card, it's like a little cat in a birthday hat. And it says that sometimes, like, the universe has a sense of humor. You know, like to remember your playful side also. Like, this is a very serious time in your life. It's this committing to yourself, but it's like telling yourself, like, not to take yourself too seriously. Don't take yourself too seriously. Be a little silly sometimes, a little cringe. And yeah, to let yourself have a little bit more whimsy. I love that, whimsy in your life. So let's see how this plays out in the reading. I am going to go ahead and start with the Light Seers Oracle. And let's see, let's get a few cards for Taurus. What messages do we have for Taurus? Healing. You're going through a time of healing, rest and healing after a painful period in your life. It could be heartbreak, or it could be other grief, it could be other kinds of, pain. But whatever it was difficult. And like you see in this, like, she is in a bird's nest, and she's got this heart kind of tied on a string, and it's like the bird has like picked it up and used it to make its nest with for safety. You have, this is good that this is reversed, the Nine of Wands reversed. what this tells me is that you're really starting to like release those past mindsets, um, the things that the walls that you've put up. You're starting to release these are like um, insecurities, doubts, like things that give you a chip on your shoulder, and you're starting to soften and release those things when that comes in reverse. Ooh, ooh. So you have the High Priestess, and this is like a time of deep spirituality. You're really getting in touch with um, your faith and your belief. Like in this healing, you've had to not had to, but it's given you a sense of faith, a renewed faith that you didn't have in the world because you didn't believe um, you know you didn't believe these good things were coming, but yet the universe still is showing you that these good things are coming, and you're starting to see that this is true. It's sort of like when we've had a lot of disappointments in life and a lot of like upsets or trauma or like tragic happenstance, that you kind of like you start to expect it and everything, and this is what you're healing from, and with the High Priestess card here, I see that you're gonna like cut through these illusions and really like be able to like understand, um, like you're not gonna have like a big confusion happening, because like it's very clear now to you, like what you want, what you know, how you feel about a situation. It's starting to be very clear, and it's because of the spiritual path that you're taking that's helping you heal and like transmute these past mindsets and obstacles. You also had here, these also flipped out, the Ten of Pentacles. What? So this is leading you to a life of stability and good fortune, like community. Um, this is like good times with friends and family, and it's leading you to this. This is where you're wanting this to go. You're taking active steps in the right direction, and it's going to happen. This isn't something that happens right away, but this is like the direction you're headed in, the trajectory. You also got the Lovers here, which that's very exciting. That's the second time I got this month. Love is actually coming up for quite a few of the signs. So you've got the Lovers. Look out for somebody new coming into your life. Like perhaps you feel you've healed enough to be able to enter into new passionate relationships. Um, you've healed enough, and like that you really do want family and like love. Um, and then bam, you meet somebody here, or this is somebody and it that you're already dating, and it's starting to kind of like heat up or get fun. You know. And so you got Judgment, which is second chances, and this is about you releasing judgment of self and like, um, forgiving yourself for past mistakes, and in doing that, like you get a second chance. You see here, like this pure form of this woman is like leaving her body, and she's going to, shine, soak up that light and shine. Um, the Judgment is all about second chances, and it's also about reaping like the scales of justice coming into balance, and then like you reaping the good karma after a time of like bad luck or misfortune. So like you may have a hard time trusting in this Lovers. I will pull clarifying cards, but it seems to me that you're like having a hard time accepting that maybe this is too good to be true. um we'll find out when we clarify what more about this, but you're having a hard time accepting it, and like you're using your mind, and you're a good communicator, quick wit. You can, you know, deal with like legal things easily. Complicated people, when people are trying to confuse you in conversation, you can quickly see through that and cut through to the heart of the matter at hand. And this also, like, this does make people uncomfortable because, like, they know that they can't take advantage of you, and they can't uh, like, fool you, or, talk you into something that you would rather not do, because, like, you're clear in your motivations, and you're clear um headed right now. And, like, this woman, she doesn't mind being alone. Like, she's perfectly happy here. She doesn't need somebody. So it's like, yeah, so you might be coming off as a little bit cold in this new love situation, or a little bit withdrawn or not available, like emotionally unavailable with this card. Um, so that's something that, like, we're gonna take a look at. There may be a good reason for it. We'll find out. I'm gonna clarify with another deck. Let me pull one more card to get, like, a full 8 here. Okay. Ooh, 9 of Pentacles. It's reversed. So you have the 9 and the 10 of Pentacles here, which it's talking about, like, coming through to a more stable period of your life. Like, this, I see this is, this is what your goal is. It's like your hope and your dream here, and then this is you on the way there, right? So reverse tells me that this is coming for you in the future. You are, like, currently working towards this stability and happiness, and, like, you've come very far. Like, you have been working towards this, and, like, you're starting to feel the fruits of your labor. um and this, maybe that's why, like, you're coming off as cold, because, like, you don't want to become, like, imbalanced, and, like, kind of, like, worried about losing all these things that you've worked so hard for, especially after coming through this trauma and healing through this. Like, you don't want really anything to disturb your peace, even this person, this love interest. So let's get some clarifying cards on this. Let's see. Okay, tell me about what's this person? What is Taurus healing from? 4 of Cups reversed. It's like a time of indecision, and, like, a little bit dissociation from your life. Like, uh, you didn't want to see this cup from the divine, nor are you looking at these cups you have. Like, you're not interested in these cups, right? So maybe, like, you could have been a bit bored in your situation, or it just wasn't fulfilling you, challenging you. I'm actually feeling that's in a love situation too. So you may have, like, lost your stability due to, like, your last relationship, or you're not interested in any of these cups. Cups stand for emotions, and, like, you're not interested in any of these. Let's see, what else can you tell me? Ooh, Judgment again. Yeah, like, there was something that came through, some karmic justice, and second chances here with the Judgment. So, like, this is a second chance for you. Like, you've come through a lot. Yeah, and, like, you went for it. You, like, were determined. You left. You're determined to make the most of this second chance. Like, you're not gonna make the same mistake twice, but you still are on a path. Like, this healing, this may have been in more of, like, the distant past, or just, like, in the last few months, and coming out of it. But you got the Chariot, and this person is, like, you know, they have planned, but they're also like so passionate, and they're like on the move. Like there's nothing that can distract them or like change their mind. You know, this is after they're packed, they're ready, they've got their cats, they're like, you know, everything. And the Nine of Wands. Tell me about the Nine of Wands here. What are these walls that are built up? What is these chips on the shoulder? What are these walls? Oh, that was reversed. Nine of Wands. Why the Nine of Wands reversed? Oi! It didn't really want to give me those. Let me see if that makes sense. You got these both came up reversed, right? So it's saying like you have a lack of community here. A lack of community, a lack of people on your side, a lack of, you know, maybe family support, um, and like, you know, Three of Cups is known for being like a card of celebration, so there weren't like enough good times to make this old place worth it, and also with the Seven of Wands, so you had no advantages. Um, you constantly felt like you were, you know, pushing up a rock uphill. Like there were no advantages. It was like, you know, fighting against the wave, right? Because it's reversed, and like things just it wasn't adding up. It wasn't stacking up. You know, there's no reason for you. I'm seeing this. Okay, so like you had these like blocks, obstacles, burdens. You know, past mindsets, like walls that you've built up, and it wasn't serving you because in these walls were only just giving you a lack of community. People couldn't get close to you. Um, you know, it's like that big chip on the shoulder. People couldn't get close to you. You felt isolated and alone, but you also were alone, and you constantly, um, it constantly had you fighting this uphill battle because you didn't have the resources of community. Um, and also, it talks about like these walls served you when you built them. You know, like these were built over time, like over like different things that happened to you, like different little traumas, different, you know, things that, you know, you felt slighted in relationships. These are the things, these are the walls, these are the chips, the cracks in the foundation. And, but you don't need those anymore because you've left that situation, right? With the Chariot, you've left it and it's behind you now. Um, and so that's why it's not serving you. And you're seeing this now. It is starting to come through. Like you're starting to notice when you do this, like when you kind of have a reaction based on a past reaction that like doesn't really have a bearing on the current situation. And all that kind of stuff is really subconscious, but you notice it now. Some people never do. You know, some people are just like, oh, that makes me upset, you know, and like they never like wonder why. And like that's what you're doing. You are like literally in the process of improving yourself and your life. You know, by improving yourself, you're aligning yourself with the things that are going to be good for you, right? And in turn that will make you a happier, more joyful, more abundant person. And so you're starting to see like, you know, the light at the end of the tunnel. Like maybe I can also have a happy life. It doesn't have to be like this. Like I don't have to be here. I can be I can have a happy life. I see it now. I can have a happy life, and I can have, you know, a relationship, a passionate, you know, relationship that is like equal and worthy and good for me. And like I am worthy of a second chance. You know, I'm worthy of this. I deserve it. Like you believe it now. Um, and that's what sets you apart. That's what makes you so smart, you know? That's what really people admire about you now. And like that is what is going to like get you on your way here. Let's get in. Let me see these. What is this lovers here? Tell me about the lovers. Lovers for Taurus. How did they get the lovers for this month? Tell me more, tell me more. Come on, Spirit. Queen of Swords again. You know, this is somebody that you have good conversation with. Like, you may also have, like, a witty rapport or, like, a sharp cutting, like, a teasing with this person. And, like, they really enjoy these qualities about you. But you also, like, you know, mentally stimulate each other. You know, there's mental stimulation. Like, the swords always stand for intellect, ideas. What else? What else of lovers? Ooh. The Knight of Swords. Yeah, like, fast, witty repartee. Like, you guys have banter. Banter, you know? Like, this is what that is. Like, you know? And it's like, look at how, you know, like, this person is really attracted to your energy, you know? They maybe have not met somebody that has a mind like yours, or that can connect with a mind like theirs, you know? Like, you guys are simpatico, in a way that you communicate. What else? Tell me more about these lovers. When are we meeting these lovers? When are we gonna... This is happening this month. Gonna want to look out for that. Ooh! So the Seven of Pentacles reverse the Hierophant. And the Eight of Cups. It almost feels like by accident, but... So, these are all reversed. So, Seven of Pentacles always talks about, like, making sure that you maximize your effort. But you got it reversed, so I'm thinking about that. I think it's saying, like, not to think too much about this. Don't, like, think too much about it. Like, you know, don't get up all in your head. You know, just, like, not yet. Just, like, you know, let the beginning of this unfold naturally without putting too much thought into it, not over analyzing it before it has a chance to develop into something. And with the Hierophant reversed, you know, the Hierophant talks about, like, tradition and diplomacy, and, you know, this is generally, like, the Pope. It's a spiritual person, but it, in the reverse, it says, it's telling me that this is going to be like an unconventional person rather than traditional. They'll still be spiritual. They'll still be, you know, around a lot of people, working with people, having an influence on people. You know, this could be somebody that, like, leads a lot of people in some way. I mean, they could be anything. They could be some sort of teacher. And then you also have the Eight of Cups upside down, reversed. Reversed. So it's saying, like, so Eight of Cups is always about walking away. So it's saying, like, don't scare yourself and walk away too soon, you know, because you are getting this Judgment, which that's the second one you have, which is, like, reverse karma. Good karma is coming your way. Second chances. Like, you're getting a second chance. So, like, feel it out. Like, I would just say, like, don't react too soon. Like, go with the flow, right? Isn't that what got the river? Go with the flow. See where the wind takes you, where the river takes you. All right. And then, tell me about these second chances. The High Priestess again. Yeah, it's like just telling you to, like, really trust your intuition, your spirituality. You know, these two people are a wonderful match in spirituality and community. You know, like this is somebody that stimulates your mind, but also is like into the mysteries of life as well, that you can get really deep with. Um, and as you are both swords people, like intellect people, I feel like this is really, maybe this is what was lacking in your last partnership. You know, maybe you were lacking somebody that stimulated your mind, and it just like, you know, this is you and this person. You guys are like, pop, 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 banter, banter, and like, but they also can go deep with you into like spirituality and like philosophy and art and, you know, theater. They can like talk about all these things with you, science, you know, and it's like, that's what creates this connection, this passion, you know, this fiery passion. So it's just saying, don't be too quick to discount this and get scared of it. Like, give it a chance, give it some flow. This is your second chance, you know, to make your Ten of Pentacles. Yeah, don't overanalyze it. Don't get all up in your head. This Nine of Pentacles here. What is this one for the outcome here? What's Nine of Pentacles? Tell me more. Justice. Again, you know, like the scales are turning in your favor. Also, I did forget to mention the Hierophant is your card. That's the Taurus card. So you're like finding, you know, the match to, like, this is like the other half, right? Because the High Priestess is the pair with the Hierophant. And that's the Taurus card. So then you're getting Justice here on the Nine of Pentacles. Like, it's time, for whatever reason, and like you not being like appreciated in the past, like people were treating you like this, like they weren't appreciating you, and that was, you know, breaking your heart, and that's what you're healing from. You know, like this is not this is your past relationship, and now you're gonna be in this new one. So choose wisely, because this, you know, the scales of justice are in your favor. I'm telling you, like, this is, you know, that, so the whole principle behind scales is that, like, they're weighted. So, you know, you put some weight on one side and it goes down, you put some weight on the other side and it goes down. I know this is so basic, but to give you the visual. So when you take something out, it becomes balanced again. And so, like, not one side is like taking more of the pressure, and it becomes even. Do you have anything else, Spirit, to tell us about Taurus? And it's a total transformation. This is like bringing you to a whole new you. You know, this is like, this card should be like the cocoon card or the butterfly card. Like, you are like being released from this transformation, and like people are seeing you as a butterfly now. You know, they can't believe their eyes that you've come this far, or that they just didn't notice like how beautiful, like, you're shining now. And like, you know, maybe these are people that have just overlooked you, known you for a long time, and you are like actually shining now because of all of this healing that you've done in this transformation you've been going through this year. So let's get a couple of these enchanted blossoms. These are I think the little messages to remind you, like, on your way. Inspiration. You know, look out for the inspirations. Look out for the things that like make you tick, you know, that give you that feeling of purpose and joy. You know, you might come up with something this month that you have not thought of before. Passion, yes, with the Lovers. You're going to have a lot of passion. Look out for these passionate, you know, And these things can only happen if you are a part of it. You can't like be in your house, you know, all month and not go anywhere and have these things happen. But you know, if you go out, it doesn't even. You could go out to, you know, party. You could like meet somebody at your local coffee shop, and you know, it could be. There's a lot of different ways, but it's just saying to be like on the lookout and like maybe like take a class or be, you know, you get an invite. I would say take it this month. Definitely take an invite this month because you just never know what would happen, and you don't want to miss this second chance. You know, people, someone may just very well surprise you. And have gratitude for the lessons you've learned, the people that have helped you along the way that cannot come with you. Gratitude for yourself and like your achievements of how far you've come. Like if you look back on the last 6 months, year, 2 years, 5 years, you probably don't even like recognize yourself. And like, have you stopped to, you know, thank yourself for, you know, pushing yourself to become the person you are. So even if you're in this chat, I know that you've been working on yourself and are very spiritual, and you have serenity. Serenity. I mean, this it talks about peace. Like you're finally having peace. This could also be sobriety for some of you. Maybe this new start is in sobriety because I'm getting serenity prayer, but also serenity just means peace. Like this is lavender, and these are all different kinds of butterflies, but for some reason they have like little dragons in them. But so this is a Provencal fritillary and lavender. It looks like a type of not monarch, but you know, like a little cottage one. So like yeah, you know, this is bringing you into a new peaceful, no drama period of your life, and I want you to savor these moments, and really like, you know, enjoy the little things. And remember, you had vow at the beginning, vow and serenity. Like, make a vow to your peace. Make a vow to have more peace in your life. To like make a conscious effort to cut away the things that are draining you or are just like causing you to have to retreat like this. Like, you know, nobody should have to feel like this, you know, every time they burn out or every time some drama happens. Like, you know, these kinds of things are cyclical, and so like you're vowing to break the cycle, and that's it. That's it. I am really proud of you, Taurus. Thank you so much for being here. I want you to know that you, Taurus, watch more videos of mine than any other sign. So, whoop whoop, Taurus gang, and I'll see you next month. All right, bye.